I'm here with Susan Justiniano, also known as RescuePoetix. Hi, Susan.
Hi, Belinda. How are you?
Just fine. Now, you are the 2022 through 2024 State of New Jersey Beat Poet Laureate. What has that meant to you, or has it helped your career in any way, or what has it meant to you?
Thank you for that question. It has been a fantastic experience to be able to connect with other Beat Poet Laureates. And when I was first announced as the New Jersey Beat Poet Laureate, I was totally caught by surprise. I've recorded poetry to music for a very long time, and to have that genre recognized through the National Beat Poet Laureate Association Society has been just tremendous. And it's helped build relationships, and it's meant so much to me because it's opened a whole new door of possibilities for poetry and for beat poetry.
Yes, and I have noticed that you have your fingers in so many poetic things. Well, let me first ask you about the name Rescue Poetics. I've had a little trouble getting my get wrapping myself around that. It's a brand, I think. But is it also your pen name? And is it also a service? Tell me about Rescue Poetics.
That's a great question. So Rescue Poetics started out as me coming to Jersey City. I fell in love with Jersey City and the underground art scene here. And I've always been that person to help, to offer a hand whenever and wherever possible. One time I came and asked if someone needed help, and they said, "Here comes Susan to the rescue." And rescue pretty much stuck. So I wanted to create that brand and for people to know that it had to do with poetry, that it didn't have to do with any other type of rescue. Although we do need rescuing in one form or another, right? All of us do, even me. So it became Rescue Poetics as a service, as a pen name, as a stage name, and as a brand to help other entrepreneurs and artists understand their importance in the arts community and the economy as a whole.
Okay, so how long have you been Rescue Poetics?
Oh, I want to say over 10 years now, probably closer to 15.
Well, you coming into the Beat Poet Laureate brought you to my attention and a lot more other people, I imagine. Tell me about your journey with poetry and music, when you got started with that, and how you connected up with musicians, and just anything you want to tell us about your poetry and music career portion.
So, okay, great. So, I've always been in love with the the relationship of words and music, not necessarily as a singer, but poetry and music have a very long relationship, and as you well know. And I love house music. I love all kinds of music. But my introduction to poetry to music in today's age, in today's being, began with house music, with artists like Ursula Rucker, with artists like Monday Michuru, who are poets as well as music collaborators. And that started, I want to say, even Jill Scott, that started, I want to say, in 2011 was the first time I recorded poetry to music. And I was introduced through house music, through DJs and producers, and participating in various webcasts and house music events and just getting to know people. I mentioned one time that I was interested in doing poetry to house, and someone introduced me to a producer, and it just took off from there.
Well, from an old lady who didn't understand, what exactly is house music?
Oh, house music can be described as dance music.
Ah,
It can be described if you're familiar with the 80s New York club scene, club music as well. And it has a very long and deep relationship, as well as different iterations and evolutions, just like poetry. Poetry isn't just one thing. House music isn't just one thing.
ah,
Some may describe it as electronica,
uh-huh.
deep house, Afro house, techno house, all different types of house music.
Okay.
Mhm.
You help others to record their music. I mean, their poetry to music also, don't you?
Correct. I have collaborated with quite a few poets and have combine them or introduce them to producers to record their poetry to music.
That's a great thing. You have been involved with so many groups. Do you help them get started and then then you stand back? Or are you always a part of all these groups that you have helped?
It's varies, depends on what's going on. Some of them are already established, and I become involved in different ways, such as becoming a grant review panelist, a poetry panelist for competitions, things along that line. And there are several organizations or several collaborations that I helped bring together. Someone may have an idea, and I'll say, okay, well, let's do it. Let's put it together. And those things I can either continue with them or they go out and they develop on their own. So it all really depends on what's going on, but I'm not shy of getting involved in different things to see where that goes and to help the success of other poets and artists.
Are you able to make poetry a full-time living?
Different areas of poetry. I'm involved in as a teaching artist as well. So that involves poetry. I do a variety of different types of workshops. And if I put my mind to it, like with everything else as an entrepreneur, it requires a lot of work because if you don't work, you don't make money, right?
Right.
So it becomes a thing of where can I do what to earn not only my credentials as a poet or as a teaching artist or as a facilitator, but how much can I earn? What is reasonable for me? And I've learned that I really enjoy the structure of submitting grants and submitting proposals and all those different things and being involved. But there are certain things that I have come to take for granted, such as healthcare. I don't, as a full-time employee, I get that as part of my benefits package. So I haven't quite made the transition to full-time artistry, but I'm on my way there.
All right. And I think you'll be able to do it because you are really driven, I think.
Thank you.
Um, so you started a group or helped a group called In Full Color Empowering Women of Color. Was that your idea or people come to you with that?
That's an incredible story. The founder and owner, Summer Dawn, is started that in Jersey City, and I became involved by participating in some of the workshops that they had available. It was a small group at the time. We're still a small group, but expanding every day. And I became a board member, I want to say 4 years ago, and I've been on the board ever since, as well as a performer and one of their workshop facilitators. And I love Info Color.
All right. Do you have a poem to share with us?
A poem?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I do actually. I have several poems, but one of my favorites to share has to do with discovering who you are, and it's called Shedding. I could extol the virtues of motherhood, tell of the wondrous ability to create life, praise the struggle of raising kids as a single parent, martyr this as my greatest accomplishment. I could hide my failures. Asinine judgment calls, ass backwards decisions, the madness and chaos that followed. Gloss it over, make it pretty. I could ignore the rage, having done so for years. Runs in fishnet stockings worn over varicose veins. That skin. Parchment paper edges singed. It's time to cut it away, peel it back, and grow a new one. Over scars my last relationship pried open just to watch the blood flow. The hardest thing isn't to let go. The hardest thing isn't to let go. The hardest thing is to move on. Rediscover who I am as I am, wherever and whenever that may be. Redefine myself as I stand. I stand at the door of change, and I dare to look back. My shedding, scattered like breadcrumbs on a path I no longer travel. Maybe I like that. Today, I don't know how true that is. I do know that I have cut from me the need, the fear, the desire to return to the devil I know.
Wow. All right. Thank you very much, Susan Justiniano / Rescue Poetics.
Thank you so much.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.